From my experience, I have been doing a lot of intraday trades, mostly debit spreads, since couple of months, but haven't achieved much accuracy. Though haven't lost capital, I feel the effort it is requiring isn't justifying the gains. Maybe I'm missing something here. Yes, you're betting on directional movement again. See, that's the problem. Instead, try credit spreads for some time. Have a clear directional bias, and since you're doing it intraday, you also need to be aware of the intraday directional bias, because I'll give you an example. Like this day, I'm talking about the August 4th, this weird inventory adjustment break that happened. Now what happens is, here the directional bias is clearly up, and on this day, for no reason, market falls extremely sharply. So if you come to this day and decide to establish a bullish credit spread intraday even, and market falls very very sharply, it will cause a lot of pain to you. If you are not able to figure out that markets are going lower, and even if you establish a bullish debit spread, that will immediately go in loss, because you will establish it somewhere here and immediately it will fall and it will go into loss. Predicting where markets will go intraday is a little difficult, and that is the reason why, even if you are trading on I would say maybe Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I would definitely go in for a credit spread, depending on what the market is trying to do. I'll try to keep sufficient distance between the current market price. I won't go too much closer to the current market price, and instead, just in case that the market does not do what you want it to do within that day, and there is still sufficient distance between your short strike and the context tells you that okay, it was just an inventory adjustment and it does not look very bad, you can even carry those positions forward. But debit spreads, the moment it does not work on the day you establish it and you decide to carry it on the next day, unless and until market moves wildly, you won't be able to make money. And also, one thing you need to understand is that the observations I make, or the reasons I accept for taking bullish credit spread for the weekly expiry, are not going to always help you in taking a debit or a credit spread for intraday. That is going to be a little different. Please understand. Intraday trades are different, intraday movements are different, and I am not very closely tracking intraday movements. So sometimes even my observations for intraday movements may not be correct. So if you want to trade intraday debit spreads, you have to first sit down and think what exactly do you want the markets to do. Then figure out what are the developments that give you that kind of directional movement. Like if it is right at the edge, like this one, it is right at the edge and you expect it to go higher, this is clear absorption of supply. You can take a risk and you can establish a bullish debit spread here, because then you will get a quick move out of the markets. Something like this, like you see, you established it early on in the day. Now in usually what happens, if you want to take an intraday trade, you have to establish it where the risk is minimum. And if you want to do intraday trading, I would not look at taking a trade till H period. Why? It's because you need sufficient market development to be able to figure out what the market is trying to do. Now in this case, if you took a position here looking at acceptance above yesterday's high and all, this pullback, it caused some trouble for you. Now I can take a trade looking at this, because I'm not planning to I don't know what day it is, but I'm just giving you an example. Let's say this is developing on Monday. I would confidently go ahead and take a trade, because what I know is that if this acceptance is happening above yesterday's high, at some point in time, smart money has to go here and check why it happened. So it can be in the form of a spike or a gap opening, and then failure can happen. That is alright. But I know that this development will at least be tested once, and I have time, and I will keep a lot of distance between the current market price and my short strike. So all these things are going to help me. But if you look at the same points and try and take a decision, you might not fare well. But instead, let's say you had waited yesterday, and H period is roughly in the middle, so that's why I'm saying GH period. So you see that okay, even though we had acceptance above, we are going lower, so I have to wait. Then you get a failed option, then you get some struggle bit just below VWAP, and then in JNK period it starts to accept above VWAP. In JNK period, your premiums would be even lower, given the fact that yesterday was an expiry. So if you had established a debit spread here, this small movement would have given you what you want. So you have to wait patiently, take your positions in second half of the day, and you can even think about taking position at the close to see what happens the next day. Tuesdays are notorious for theta decay. So if your position does not work out on Tuesday and you carry it on Wednesday, unless the gap or the movement is very sharp the next day, theta decay will kill you. So if you want to carry a position from Tuesday to Wednesday, better carry a credit spread. But if you want to trade debit spreads, do it on Wednesdays and Thursdays, or Fridays and Mondays to an extent. Don't carry trades from Monday to Tuesday, Tuesday to Wednesday. Debit spreads, don't carry them, because here the theta decay will be there and that will cause problems. Friday, intraday you want to take a trade, fine. go for debit spreads. Monday also intraday, if you want to take a trade, debit spreads. But if you want to carry any trades from Friday, Monday, Tuesday onwards, they should be credit spreads. And if it is Wednesday and Thursday, since the premium decay has already happened, you can take that risk and carry your debit spreads from Wednesday to Thursday. And if the movement happens quickly, you will be benefiting. Watch this section of the video again and take some notes, and then try and apply it to your debit spread trading. Hopefully it will help.